So when you open the Lumion, like it always shows you like create new example models. It has some example models, and if you have done something, if you have done some project in your Lumion in the recent past, like you can just load that one into the load scene. And like if you click on the examples, like it has this many examples, like almost nine sort of models. And like by clicking and going into these models, we can actually see how we can like they have used materials. And like for creating the new scene, you just click on the create new and you can good to go. And like if I click on this scene for now, like if I click on this scene, it will just load that example model. So basically Lumion provides us the models for like having a review on that model. And because it shows us like how you can create the actual realistic material in Lumion. So you can actually see the settings from those example models in your Lumion so that you can apply it into your design. So like if you see, um, I've been directed to this example model. Like if I want to like see the settings of this sort of like material and every material, I can just click and see the settings of this one. So this is how like we can just do. And like if I want to see this sort of material, what it is, and what things and what are the settings that have been used to create this material. So I'll just go on to this like bucket tool you have here, like bucket icon. If you click on this one, material editor will automatically get switched. And like if you drag your cursor on this, like it's like Petra Granito G, and if you click on this, you'll get the material what it is, like the poly city street sidewalk. And like you can see the settings over here, like the gloss relief and the map scale. So we will see one by one further in our new models. I've just shown you this model for the reference. Like you can just check it out, the example models, for having a better understanding of the materials and the things that have been used. So we'll just go to the homes page. Like you have like materials, landscape, weather, and transport. We'll see one by one each and everything in our Lumion. So now we'll just switch this thing. So it like it's always ask you about like whether you want to save your model or not. So like if you save, it will create its own format file into its software. So we'll be just closing that one and we'll open it again. Let's open Lumion again. So basically Lumion has been like mostly preferable softwares for creating like animations, walkthroughs, because we have multiple softwares for creating walkthroughs in our architectural field. But Lumion, like while comparing Lumion with the other software, it takes less time while compared to 3ds Max or V-Ray. So like whenever we open our this Lumion gets open, like you can here change your language, which is which has been selected as a English for now. And if you click on the load model, you have like recent projects which you have done, so you can just load your recent projects also. So if you click on the create new, so you have like so many like environments, like create plain environment, like which has like only grass, and beach environment you have, like you can create the beach house over there, and you have like mountain, like you can create the forest cabin over here, and the desert you can like create the hut sort of thing here, and this creates suburban environment, which is basically like the contemporary sort of structures you can create over here. And you have you can create the your model in winter also, like we can change the weather to winter also, but you from the beginning itself you can also do in the winter season also. So for now we'll be just going into this create plain environment, so just click on to this. So there we go. So like if you see, like it has a very vast horizon, so like you can create any sort of like model, whether it is on the large scale or the small scale, major or minor project, like anything. So now, so how you do this, like movements in our Lumion. So we'll try to I'll try to address the interface tools that have been used in the Lumion, and how you can like move this sort of around in your Lumion for today. And we'll be importing the model also for today, and we'll see step by step. Like I don't want to like jump you directly into the rendering part and like the camera setting. Like we'll go slowly and we'll learn in the deep while practicing the Lumion in our project. So like so like if I move my cursor like this, so it will be like it will just move the cursor over my Lumion screen. So if I hold my right click onto the mouse and I would suggest that everyone just keep a book and a pen with yourselves while attending the online classes also. Like I'll show you the shortcuts also. I will be like showing you the shortcuts and the tools, like you can directly select while using the shortcuts. So you can just write down like by holding the right click onto the mouse, and if you like move, like you can move your scene into your Lumion. So if I click on the right, nothing happens. So click on the right mouse click and just move the cursor like we usually do. Sorry. So now, like if we have seen, like you have learned how we can move, and Lumion like use its default keys always to like for the movement and for like creating or placing the cameras. So Q Q is basically like used for moving upwards, like you can move up and up and up upwards, Q. And E is basically used for downward movement. So Q is basically used for moving up, moving in the upward direction, and the E is been used for moving in the downward direction. And while like if I'm moving in the upward direction, if I hold the shift, like we hold the shift like for creating the copies of our 3D models in like SketchUp, or whether it may be 3ds Max or some software. So we'll hold the shift. So if I hold the shift by pressing Q or E maybe, so if I press the E and if I hold the shift, it will increase its speed. Like this is the normal speed for the Q, I'm going up. And if I hold the shift key, like I'm moving a little bit faster. So like this if you see, we are moving slowly downwards. If I hold the shift, it will be moved faster. So Q for upward direction and E for downward direction. And like even you can just change your camera position also, like by holding the right click of your mouse, and W W is basically used for going into the front position. Like you can just move the camera into the front position like this and like this. And for back, like S, W is used for going into the front zone. Like the front, you can move straight by going like by holding the W, and by holding the S, you can just move the camera in the rear positions. So now if the same thing happens, if I click on the W and if I hold the shift, the camera will move faster. Like if you see, we are going much faster. This is the normal speed, and this is while holding the shift. And again, same thing with the W or S, sorry, for going into the rear position. Like, and while like moving, you can just go up and down also like this to have a clear vision. By if I again, if you hold the shift, like you will go much faster. So this is the basic setting. You should remember, like by holding the Q, you can go up. By holding the E, you can go down. By holding the W, you can go further. And by holding the S, you can go lower. And by holding the shift in any direction, you can just increase the speed of your camera. So this is the basic settings of the Lumion, basic, not the settings, basic tools by which you can just you can change your moments in your Lumion screen. So Lumion has like very less sort of interface because it has been created for like to visualize more and more before the rendering part. So like it has this much only toolbar, and this of like which will be used for the setting purposes. So like this toolbar. So like here it is a content library. Basically the content library means this scene, this scene in which we are, like is the content library itself. And like materials, like you see, we have seen the materials. This is the material editor, which is used to like edit the materials and everything, every material. And landscape, basically landscape, if you switch on to the landscape, like you can create the bumps into your landscape also. Like it has been selected as a cyano basically. So like edit type, like this sort of like rock or any sort of like landscape you can create with it. And the toggle rock also, like and here if you see height, you can just give the height and you can apply this one. We'll see one by one how we can like do this and how we can actually use this sort of like in our Lumion. And like if you see, it is a raise, it's showing us as the raise, and it's showing us as a lower. So if you click on this, like it will just create a dig. If you see, a dig has been created into our land. So this is basically used to like lower or create a raise into our land, basically in the Lumion, like this one. And it's like similar to the sandbox tool which we see in our SketchUp. And like water also, like it has like water in this, and you can just create a water into this plane also. For now, like it's been, if I want to delete this one, like you can just adjust its axis also, movement. If so, whenever like Lumion is unlike the other softwares, like you can't like just select this thing and you can't just delete this thing with with the delete button which present onto our keyboard. So you have to just select this one and you have delete object over here and delete object, and if you click on this it will get deleted. So this is how basically Lumion deletes everything. If you want to delete uh, anything into your Lumion, you first have to switch to the delete object tool and you have to delete, and like you can just change the weather with this one. Like if you see, this is the night and this is the day. Like if you see, we have been switched to the night view. Here it's we have seen the landscaping part for that one, and now in the weather, if you see, we are on the night weather. You can just like create the north and southeast direction. The sun move. If you see, the sun is here. Like so, we'll just try to like this thing, and now you'll get the clear. Like I'm moving the like if this is how like you can just move your sun direction all around your model to have a better view. And if you see, like you can also like create different sort of weather and different sort of sun angles into your Lumion screen. And like the wind speed also you can set. Basically wind speed is being used like whenever we put anything like the tree or plants into our Lumion model, so we will have some sort of like animation in it. Like the trees have like the moving leaves, so it will get affected with the help of wind speed. So we have like seen this tab. So in this content library you have like imported models and the nature and fine detail nature and people, and like basically it's a library itself. And if if I click onto this one and if I click on place, like if you see the character, you can change it over here like this thing and like this and like this. So basically the moving characters we will be using for creating the animations, and we will for the still model we'll just use the still character. And for going outside the selection, just click on to the escape part. So if I want to delete this one again, if I have to go to the delete and just click on this delete, there we go. So this is how like we can place the objects. And nature, if you go on to the nature and if you click on the place, like it has like so many sort of like the trees. Like if you go onto the conifers, these many like it's almost like the 12, second again 12, like so many, like it has so many trees in it. So whichever you want to just put if you I want to put this tree, I'll just select this one. It will automatically get selected. Like if I click on this one, it will get placed and escape for going outside the selections. So if you see in this tree, like if you see its leaves are moving, so basically that depends on the wind speed which which has been set by default and which has been like changed by us also when we change the wind settings. So that was for like and the indoor, like the furniture. If you again just click onto this indoor, so and click on place, so like so many like furnitures. So but mostly people already like they will just import the furniture from the like if we are using the SketchUp, they will just put the furniture from the warehouse and they'll just change the texture of that furniture. So any, like if any furniture is missing, we can just put that furniture into our Lumion also. So we have like much better quality. And one more important thing is that like we can't like create any sort of, not even a single box in our Lumion. This is basically the software which has been used for like rendering purpose and for like creating the animation and walkthroughs, but it's not it doesn't allow us to create any sort of 3D object in it. So we can just place the objects which are being available by the library, but we can't any sort of like, we can't just create any sort of object in this. So remember this important thing. So you have to completely like create your model into your 3D software, and like you have to import it into the Lumion. And like it doesn't mean that you have to like completely do your model while before importing, but it's better to complete the model before importing it into your Lumion. But we can use the live sync also, we will see in our further classes. So like this you can just, so whichever thing you want to place, like if you want to place the tree, just go onto this nature and click on the place. So you can place any sort of like this thing. And if you want to go outside this thing, you can just click on escape and click on this arrow select. So now you have been like switched to the default. So now how like we can import our model. So here you have place, no? So here you have place. If you click on this place, like you have like you can place the model, whichever the model you have been like used in the past, or the new, or any model. So we'll just go to the escape first, and so main so actually it's showing me the model which I have been like imported in the recent uh, thing. So let's skip this one. Basically that these are the things which have been imported with the, so like this you can place the your furniture and any sort of object. So how we can import our model in our 3ds Max? So basically it's if you click on the play place, and if you go to this important models, the models which have been used by you in the past will get shown. So if I want to like place my model which I have created in my SketchUp, so I have to like click on the import new model. We have this bigger tab which you click onto your import, and go to the location. Like if you see 12, basically my model name is 12, so it's been created, it has been created in SketchUp. So like you can just create the SketchUp file also, whichever, or 3D model object file. So just click on that and just click on open. It will ask you about like model and name. If I want to change the model name, I can change it over here. So like, and just click on the right tick, and you will see now it's loading the model into our Lumion. Basically it analyzes this model first, and it will uh, see whether the animations have been imported. Like some models like has animations in it, no? So like if you see my SketchUp model has been imported, like it will ask you where to place this one. So for now we will just go to the further location where we have the flat land. So I will just click onto the surface. Even though if you click, it will again just move the same thing. So just click on the escape part. So there we go, like this, like we have imported our model from our SketchUp. So these basically are the materials which have been like applied in my SketchUp only. So if you see, it has been placed whenever, like if we place any sort of model in our Lumion, it will be placed on the ground level. So like if I want to move this thing, if I want to move this object, I'll just select this model, and if I want to rotate it, here you have rotation option. So I'll just click on the rotation part like this. You can like, you can rotate your model. So if you want to undo the move or anything, like you can undo by here. And one more important thing, guys, you can't use Control C, Control V, Control Z in your Lumion. Lumion always uses its own keys. It doesn't recognize the other keys. So if you want to like reverse the process, you can only reverse it once. Like you can use the undo for reversing the process. And if I want to like move this thing, so what I will do, I will just select this one. Basically it's been selected as, and the scale, like you can just scale it off also. And like if I want to move this one, like already I have been like on switched on move free. So move free, so whenever we drag our cursor onto our model, so if I drag my cursor on this small ball over here, so I can move this like this one. Whenever I want, I can just move this thing into that particular direction. So if, what if I want to like move this thing upwards? So here you have up. So like this, you can just up your model and just undo. For now, you can just move this thing into your downward position also. We'll do undo. So this is basically the movement and the horizontal movement. So like if I switch on the horizontal movement like this, basically it's like similar to the movement tool only, and you can do the undo. And if I want to delete this model, again come on the delete tab and just delete this one. Again Control Z, if I click on Control Z, nothing happens. So just I will just click on undo, delete. It will take some time because it's a 3D model. So like today we have seen the interface of the, you have been introduced with the Lumion, how it works, how it like how it can create the realistic renderings, and we have seen the introduction to our interface. So from the tomorrow we will be seeing like how we can apply the textures and how we can do different sort of settings and how we can like clear the camera settings. And we will be covering Lumion, like complete Lumion in 2 weeks only. We'll be covering complete Lumion in 2 weeks only, in a most faster way and in the most best way. And we'll try to cover everything in this Lumion. So thank you guys for joining us today. We'll be continuing our Lumion class, and don't miss out this opportunity, because it's a once in a while opportunity that we are providing in for the Lumion. So see you guys in the next class. So do continue joining these classes. Don't skip any sort of classes, and we will see and we'll continue our rendering part in Lumion in the next class. So thank you guys for joining. So today's class dismissed.